Cuddly.
Puppet.
And this is the run!
So yeah, hello, welcome to episode 2 of This Is The Run. I'm playing Hades today. If you saw it last episode, you know it went really well. Yeah, so here we are crawling out of the pit where people go when they die.
That's how well it went.
Yeah, it did. The runs will speed up a little bit as we go through them.
So Megara herself got you last time. That must have been intense. She's fast and strong and beautiful. And anyway, I hope the fates are nicer to you next time.
Yeah, I hope
Oh,
so
he's
too.
also got a cool title.
As you sleep incarnate.
Yeah, that is good.
So yeah, as we go on, we'll have less need to explain what everything is, which is going to make things a little bit faster. Let's have a chat to everybody while we're here.
Achilles, is it really true that Cerberus ripped the lounge up right after I left? You must have gotten in a lot of trouble.
I only wish you could have seen it, lad. The place looked like a vineyard after a typhoon. Your Lord Father was livid, but he never gets so angry with the dog. Poor Dusa, though, she's picking the place up.
Oh no. I wonder what became of Dusa. She's always worried Father's going to fire her, even without something like this.
So finding out more.
Dusa.
You always say you like Dusa.
We've not. I said good Dusa, yeah, but we've not met her yet.
No, if not, that's true.
How you holding up, boy? Eating well lately? All 3 mouths full and happy?
Each terrifying maw of the infernal watchdog Cerberus responds affirmatively, one after the next, as if to reassure the ever-doubting prince.
Cerberus has a very authoritative voice, doesn't he?
Yeah, so there we go, on the picture there, like I mentioned in the previous video, the 2 front heads, like the front one most, but they're the goodest boy, and the back head, he is very stern.
He wouldn't say he's angry though, he just looks a bit sort of brooding.
Okay.
He's the,
Call it what you want.
He's the Batman of Cerberus heads.
Sure, man.
Cerberus is a strong candidate for us giving our nectar to. Let's also
Hey,
give
boy.
him a pet.
Just as long as one of your 3 heads enjoys these pets.
Obviously, we have a favourite head here.
I'm sorry he disturbed you, Cerberus.
Yeah, that's the one that was the frontmost, right?
No, yeah, I guess.
The goodest boy.
Maybe the black pack one needs a bit more love.
Yeah.
Father, what happened to the lounge? The only place for anyone to have a little fun around here, and you seal it shut.
Oh, I had little choice about that boy. You see, after you fled the first time, Cerberus, why, he was very much upset. Utterly tore the place to shreds. It's now under repair. All thanks to you.
Arguably thanks to Cerberus, I would say.
Yeah, but Hades doesn't feel like a good dad, does he?
No, I guess not.
You're really blaming me for not minding the dog while I was out and while you all were here.
Yeah, I'm with Zagreus.
I lay the blame entirely upon you, yes. Who else?
Fair
It's
enough.
fortunate that Cerberus has calmed himself since then. Come to his senses, I should say. May you yet come to yours.
At least he's honest.
Yeah? So what are we looking at here?
So we're looking at what we can spend our gems on. So we got 10 gems last episode, which we can either spend immediately on the fact that chambers may contain an infernal trove. This is another chance to gather resources, so I think this is what you're probably going to be going for. Failing that,
Leaning towards, yeah.
failing that, that is also resources. I do agree. I think this right now, because one of the things that this can contain is more gems, which feels like it pays for itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
The ever-shifting
so here we go.
chambers of the underworld ought to be a little livelier with this.
Keep it down.
Let's go see Nyx.
You have been served a pact of punishment now, child. I thought to talk your father out of it at first, but it may serve to let you grow your power even more.
Something about setbacks building character, I guess. I didn't take you for someone to look on the bright side of things, Nyx.
It is a point of fact. If you can overcome the conditions of the pact, your influence throughout this realm shall surely grow. Though do not overextend, of course.
No problem whatsoever, I'm sure.
Okay, so I must say, I
So
don't
why
remember.
are we giving the nectar to Cerberus?
So Cerberus's keepsake is increased maximum health, which is just going to be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Hypnos, I believe, gives us increased starting gold, starting Charon's opals, which is fine, but not always super useful. I would kind of be interested to see what I think it's Achilles's, but it might be the other Greek warrior we meet later. I think the thing about it might be the other Greek warrior we meet later. One of them has a keepsake that makes it so that you get an increase in vulnerability period, but we don't get an invulnerability period because we're playing in hell mode.
Right, so it might be like you get an invulnerability.
It might be, which might be worth having. I must say, I don't remember what happens if you give it to Hades. He might well give us a keepsake, but I couldn't say what it is. I've done it before, but I don't remember. So right now,
Cerberus gives us more
What did I
chance
get
for
for you, boy?
fruitful runs, right?
yeah, so like lots of pomps.
As one of Cerberus's heads receives the princess
That wasn't what I was going for.
another muzzles
But, like,
something back into his hand.
Longer runs.
Ah, therefore more pomps.
Thank you, boy.
True.
Here we are, the old spiked collar. We also have some darkness to spend. In fact, we have enough for an extra dash, which we're going to quickly grab. We might as well spend the rest while we're here on that. Now, if we look here for 5 keys, we can get 2 new talents in here, which would be pretty good. However, for 1 key, and we do have 2, we can unlock a new weapon.
There we go. Coronact, the Heart Seeker. Let's deal some death. Psst, over here. What the?
Okay, I mean, maybe we don't shoot our new friend.
Nice place you got here, boyo. Name's Skelly, how's it going? But enough with the small talk already. I'm here to do a job. So let me have it. Give me everything you got.
I don't remember having you on payroll, mate. Who's your supervisor?
Oh, I'm not about to wrap my sources, pal. Just try and beat it out of me.
If he insists.
If you insist.
Hey!
He did say that. Yeah.
I'm hit.
Talk me through the abilities of the weapon.
Hang on, killing Skelly, man. He has a lot more health than I remember.
Taking it a shot?
No. But he asked me to. So every weapon has an attack, and there we go. Suck it. Every weapon has an attack. In our case, it's the charge of an arrow.
Bet I got you pretty good.
And it also has a special, which in our case is this little spread shot here. Yeah, which if we do up close to the target, we can hit them with, yeah, more than one of the arrows. Ideally, all of the arrows, not always. Now, when we're firing our normal arrow here, you'll notice that it glows white at a certain point, just then.
Yeah.
If we release the arrow at that point, we do a power shot, which fires it faster. And also, if we shoot immediately after dashing, then the shot charges up a lot faster, but does deal less damage.
But it's probably the preferred playstyle, as you're mobile and...
Yeah, if we get a chance to shoot just normally, great. But if not, we'll be doing that. We're going to pick up Cerberus' keepsake. Plus 25 to our life total.
That's 50% more, that's pretty good.
It is. The other thing is, since we got, it's up here at the top, since we got Shadow Presence, we now deal extra damage when we're behind enemies. So if we shoot this guy in the face, we deal 26. Behind, we deal... Okay, let's do a fully charged shot so I can... There we go. 70 from the front, 77 from the back. 7% more.
At first I just thought his model was messed up.
No, it's because I charged it for different amounts of time, because I just went for a tap, and that's a different length. Okay, so off we go. We're again not adding any extra difficulty because we don't need it. Okay, gonna meet our good friend Zeus.
So there's always
We'll be resting easy on these heights. Why, we'll look back at this and laugh, I'm sure of it.
So there's always an upgrade available at the start of a run, whether it be a hammer or a boon, right?
I believe so, yes. There always has been, to my memory. So options here, we've got our attack emits chain lightning, which will be a little bit of extra damage, as well as a little bit of extra AoE on our normal attacks. Our special causes a lightning bolt to strike nearby foes. It says a lightning bolt, so I'm gathering that's just going to be one extra enemy, but it's 30 extra damage on a special that does...
It also says 4s, right? Which is plural.
Yeah, you can get a boon that increases the AoE on lightning bolts, so it can definitely hit more than one target.
Right.
But it's one
Also, it's
lightning
like an area around that guy, so the lightning
Yeah.
hits, you know, the guy, and then there's a circle around him, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Or a dash doing a lightning bolt again. The thing that makes lightning bolts strike larger areas, you have to have something that makes lightning bolt strike for, which this doesn't do. So we could go that way. I believe there's also one that makes lightning bolts have a chance to strike twice, you know, as they famously do.
Yeah.
So we might go with that. I do. We'll get to the point where I want to take lightning strike on every run, but not with this one.
Lord Zeus's strength.
So now,
Crushed.
Pretty close to start with.
yeah, there's usually one or two guys in this room.
Each time the prince delves back into the underworld, its ever-shifting chambers realign to frustrate his attempts to perhaps map it out.
Built to ensure no one gets out. We'll see about that.
I mean, that first room's always the same, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Numbskulls.
Numbskulls, that's what the enemies are, is it? So, heading straight into a room with a chthonic key.
I'm a big fan of this, you know. Blocks.
Mm-hmm.
A key to a weapon.
Oh, that's exciting. Extra 25 health means we can start with 100. Or not going to start, we're going to have very soon 100. Normally you have very limited range options. You have the cast, which you can use, and then it's stuck an enemy. With the bow, obviously, that's not the case anymore. You can do everything else except the cast is now ranged. So we can either grab a pom and upgrade our Thunder Flourish, or we can go meet a new god. Now, you are on record as saying you always want the poms.
I do always want the poms, but it's not me playing the game.
Would you actually choose a pom here?
I mean, if we'd already met the new god, I definitely would.
Really?
In the interest of, in the interest of unlocking the new god and displaying the new god, I'd say go for that.
Okay, let's go and meet a new friend. So after all, strangers are just friends. We got hit. That's fine. 6 damage. We can heal over the next few rounds. So you have that ability to.
You know,
heal.
assuming you got more damage.
It's fine. We're not going to.
Shoot every projectiles out of the air. That's really cool.
You can, yeah. No, you can attack them with the sword as well, as long as you hit them with something other than your face. Although that also gets rid of them. Thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, new god.
This one was bound to show up, I guess. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
You've got quite the fighting spirit in you there, I have to say. Most intriguing, and yet no surprise for someone born in hell itself. You come on out of there and tell me all about it. I'm a fellow student of death, you see.
So Ares has Doom, which is his, as they discuss. So that is technically damage over time. If you ever played World of Warcraft, I believe Warlocks have a spell called Doom or Bane of Doom.
Curse of Doom.
Curse of
I
Doom.
believe it is. Maybe it's just Doom now, but it was always Curse of Doom.
Which does something very similar, which is at the end of its time, it deals damage. Curse of Doom lasts a lot longer than our Doom. Doom here is about a second, maybe 2 seconds before they take the damage. I think Curse of
If you
Doom
hit
is about.
again, it refreshes, right? So you have to like space your attacks out.
I don't know that it does actually. You have to hit them again, obviously, to reapply it. But the bow doesn't attack that fast, so it's actually not a bad pickup for the bow.
It's more than one guy at a time, right? It's a piercing attack. So.
Is it? It might be. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. We also have the very generic Urge to Kill, just 10% more damage on attack, special, and cast. So the benefit of taking this would be that we could later pick up something that specifically augments our attack, because we haven't seen it yet, but if we were to pick up Curse of Agony and then later be offered another augment, say the Chain Lightning we saw from Zeus just before Static Strike, we could only have one or the other. We couldn't have both. So it would replace it. Whereas if we take this, then we don't risk that later on. Or Blood Frenzy, which we're not taking, is the long and short of it. It's just not good enough. 15% damage is fine, and again, it would stack with whatever we had, but it's only the encounter that we die in, and then we go to die again. So, yeah, just not taking that. So yeah, I'm kind of okay with Curse of Agony. I think it's fine, and I can't think of a attack augment that I'd rather have other than maybe Artemis's, which is just more damage and critical.
I think Curse of Agony is fine, which also is another spell from World of Warcraft.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But yeah, I think Curse of Agony is good. Assuming it works the way that you said and not the way that I said, that makes it even better.
Let's find out. Look at our slightly red arrows now. They're actually pretty red.
Yeah, quite.
Whereas those are very yellow and lightning. Okay, so yeah, it seems to. Yeah, that definitely works the way I said, I think.
Yeah, that seems a lot. Yeah, a lot better than I gave it credit for.
Yeah, so now we can attack with our regular attack to apply Doom, and then we can go to our slightly more damaging attack of the special, because that adds the lightning bolt, and then by the time we've done that, Doom should have gone off, which means we can then use the attack again, and that I think is going to be our highest DPS at the moment. I also haven't mentioned it, but the last episode, or was it the start of this episode? Very recently, we dumped our Darkness into the ability to dash twice, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. Gives us a lot more maneuverability. Double, in fact. Maybe. Ow. Got hit by 3 of those, which was pretty exciting.
That special's really good for shooting projectiles.
Just getting started.
It's actually not bad if you get the deflection from.
Time to collect.
Speaking of, here she is now.
And we already know what you're. Well, I already know what you're hoping for from here.
Yeah. I did briefly mention last episode that the dash is the best dash in the game. Actually, I just mentioned the best dash in the game. I don't think I specified which one it was. For my money, dash is pretty good. And the alternative is going to be the cast, so don't see us taking that. Did Mark in the first episode how I didn't like the cast?
Yeah, it was quite slow. Again, I don't think I've seen it. I used it as a reason for that. So.
But it's because I don't like it, not because it's necessarily bad. But I don't like it because I think it's bad.
Souls with nowhere left to turn congregate in deepest Tartarus, where they fuse together with the earth itself into odious forms which defy description.
They basically turn into big crystals.
Oh, okay, right.
Welcome.
Fair enough. Yeah, double it down for us.
The circumstances spur me now to offer you the greatest of my powers, cousin. Take my strength.
That sounds good.
It's just going to be regular boons, though, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Oh, that might be good for me.
Not kidding. But you do have your thing there.
Yeah, we do, but then that's epic. It can be quite a lot of extra damage. We might take that. Also, it means you get to see it, so...
The shield is
Okay. This is the run!
So it accelerates...
I
Yeah,
did get it to vacuum people in somehow.
I don't think so.
It's quite chunky, so the deflect on it's really big.
Yeah, it would have to be right. It deals a fair amount of damage. It's got a small AoE component to it as well. So now that we have Doom on our attack, and the way this game works, generally speaking, you scale the damage from your boons rather than from your actual abilities, unless the boons themselves scale the damage from your abilities, like Artemis's boons do. We don't as much care about hitting that sweet spot, because the damage from our bow is never really going to get any higher, whereas the damage from our doom, as we get more palms that upgrade that, will. So right now, I mean, if I just hit a bow enemy with that, it's going to deal about as much damage in the long term. Yeah. Yes, that deals 70 and that deals like 20. So
does probably 3 times the time to get off.
That must be one of those infernal tropes.
That is indeed one of those infernal tropes. Zagreus has the right of it.
They are something that we've just unlocked 2 of them, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
There's also one of those darkness pools in it too. On the shop.
Yeah. Well of
a good room.
Certainly we're going to be... okay, that's fine. Let's use my invincibility frames. Suck it.
Really average dice. That's essentially a 25 health heal as well for now.
It is, yeah. Speaking of heals, I mean, we're going to take the health. We're just going to check that we have got a shop coming up behind. So if we take the health, we can go...
Maybe check out the Infernal Trove first, because there might be money in it, right?
Could be money. There is not. There's health, so we're not buying the health then. Answers that question. Because that's going to do that. So in that case, the other things were cast deals more damage or traps deal more damage to enemies. I'm not excited about either of those. I was excited about this, but now I'm not, because we can get it
maybe
there.
save the money.
Yeah. So this is gems. We're not going in it straight away, but this is gems, but a mini boss from that little symbol there. So we're probably going to skip that and go to the boss. The shop. So let's heal up. Hopefully.
Let's try it.
So the way this works is source of enemies. The faster I kill them, the more health I get. That reward is the maximum amount we get. We aren't getting that. If I do well, we'll get about 3/4.
It should be enough either way to heal you to pretty much full health.
I'm expecting to, yeah, come out pretty close to full health. I forgot the one of the things for our packs of punishment. That's going down pretty fast, isn't it? Is that it spawns more enemies.
There we are.
Okay.
More enemies than there would
yeah,
normally be.
close to full health. Like, what, 92%?
Yeah, but I didn't get the 3/4 that I promised, did I? Got about a third of it.
I think I hear the river.
Not the same. That's disappointing, isn't it?
There's a hammer though.
Best go and a hammer. And some health, which, I mean, might be what we do. Or we can try and get some money next room.
The infernal wares of the Stygian boatman Charon lie sprawled about. Available for sale to whomever would be willing to quench the boatman's great thirst for riches.
That would be me.
I guess, yeah.
Hey, good to see you out here, mate. Looks as though you've got some fine wares up for sale, don't you?
Ever talkative?
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I'm not sure it's worth buying the health.
Yeah, I think we're saving our money here. We're gonna get 1 health on this door anyway, right? Boom.
Was it more than 1? I thought you were on 115. Oh no, you got 1 there in the shop there. Right?
Yeah. One for going in, one for leaving. I'm actually pretty dead. I need to realise that sometimes that some shots something with they are likely just if they're on like a third or less health. Just dead. Okay, 100 money. That is a big difference. Okay, so new type of room here. We can have some more money, which would be fine. We have 343, and next shop we went to, we probably buy everything. Or we can have this room. So in this room, which is one we're going into, there's going to be 2 god boons. In this case, from both Athena and Ares, who are siblings actually in Greek mythology. However, whichever one we don't pick first is going to. Why has that got a green circle around it? That's odd.
I'm not so sure. I'd say take it. Maybe it's because you've already got stuff from it. It's not green when you're not near it.
Oh, okay.
When you're near it, yeah.
It's because it's behind this pillar, I think. It's just trying to make it clear that it's behind the pillar. I think. but we'll find out. Oh, we won't, because we're going to take the other one. Whichever one we don't pick is going to help the enemies in this room. If we don't pick Athena, she's going to make one of the enemies in this room invincible every so often, and that's really annoying. If we don't pick Ares, he's going to make some spots on the floor I'm not allowed to stand in. I'm really good at not standing in spots on the floor I'm not allowed to stand in.
Notably.
Yeah, famously.
I trusted I would count on you.
Okay, so our abilities that can deflect now make enemies exposed, so our cast is the ability that can deflect. Just regular 5% reduced damage, or our dash can now deflect. So that leads towards the legendary if we want to try and get that. Also expose isn't awful. Like we can shoot our cast at someone, then dash behind them and shoot them in the back.
Yeah. Would that affect? So if you apply Doom to something from behind, would the game recognise that?
Only more to find out, isn't there? I suspect.
Much to be desired here, my kin. My temper I shall keep in check, but only barely so.
The upsides of these rooms, in my experience, is that generally speaking, there are less enemies in them. As much as these are the things I want to stand in, by the way. Those red sofas. There are generally speaking less enemies than there would have been in a room of a similar size.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, so we are occasionally going to be firing our cast at things because these enemies are firing a lot of projectiles at us. So this enemy here, I'm going to fire that. They're all going to bounce back.
Painful.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That was the guys getting hit by a lot of stuff.
In some cases, we're going to fire it just because I think we kill the enemy pretty. Oh dear. Kill the enemy pretty quickly and get stuff back. Now it's kind of over that whole other bunch of guys, so we're just going to leave it there.
I am really surprised that you've had the opportunity to take a dash twice.
And I've not done it.
Yeah. That's been a staple in the playthroughs I've seen. From you.
Whenever I'm offered it, yeah. There we go. And then afterwards, we do, as you can now see, get the option to take the boom we didn't take.
When blood is spilled and death is dealt, I simply
I can't stay mad at us. As we take damage, our Doom effects deal more damage, but take an extra 0.5 seconds to activate. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and it's a lot more damage, right?
60%, normally deals 50, so that's going to be an extra 30 damage. Ooh, this is an interesting choice. My running rule is usually never leave a hammer behind. But
Is there always a shot before the boss? I think there is.
I think this is going to be the room before the boss, if I'm honest, man.
Okay.
So we're taking the hammer because I like getting hammers. It could give us that our shots bounce, which would mean we could apply Doom to more targets. It could give us a triple shot, which means we can apply Doom to more targets. It could make it so that our special is better in some way. I don't know. I never take special ones. We'll find out. Yeah, this is the room for the boss.
Interestingly, we never get to meet Daedalus, do we?
I don't think so. Daedalus isn't a god, I don't think. Daedalus is an actual human engineer.
Right, yeah, but I would expect him to be in town, right?
Okay, so we can either have our power shot is easy to execute and deals 100% more damage, which we're not really bothered about, because as I said, that's not where we're going to be scaling our damage. Our special deals +3 base damage for each consecutive hit to a foe, which is nice, but again, our special, the damage from our special comes from, the bit that's going to scale, comes from the fact that things get struck by lightning. So, this sounds bad with the charging up slower part, but the fact that it deals damage in an area means it can apply Doom in an area.
And it doesn't charge up 3 times slower, so the damage is 300% more damage, but it's not 3 times slower, right?
It's quite
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
But I don't have to fully charge it, right?
That feels chunky.
Yeah. Let's find out. Let's go meet
hello.
Megara.
You really volunteered into a pact of punishment. You can't back out
No.
of it now. You're even more
Sort
of a
of.
fool than I already thought.
Maybe it's when we started the game, but
Maybe
Maybe I just like a challenge. Ever thought of that? Besides, what
I
do
like
you even care which pacts I sign or don't?
You're right. I don't care. You want to be punished? Then come on.
So we do a lot more damage this time than we did last time.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. And you've got more defensive tools, which is important.
I think I have less. We really focused on defensive tools last time.
I don't know, because you didn't get a deflect last time, right? And that just feels so good in this phase.
It does, however, she currently has it. I need it off her. Against bosses, and I think actually prefer a lot of enemies, it will eventually pop out of them. There's a guy in the way. Just mean to get this back.
Not a scratch.
The special dealing +3 damage attack does sound like it would be a lot of damage, but it fires like a lot of arrows, right?
Yeah, you do have to be all up ins to use that.
Oh, this is the run!
It might well be. Certainly the first of many.
Yes. The ancient blood.
Okay, so we can now get Titan's blood.
Achilles might know what to do with this.
Achilles might well know what to do with that. We also get to continue onwards. I thought there was a thing to inspect over there, but I guess not. Okay, so... Oh,
How did you?
Don't mind me, Father.
little tinker, isn't he? Don't mind me, father.
His dad is a bit of a douche.
None other than
That's
those
true.
in the trusted inner circle of Lord Hades are authorized to enter the intricate chambers connecting the vast regions of the underworld. But the prince decides to barge in anyway.
I barge where I please.
Damn right.
So you get a free heal at the end of each floor.
We do. We can also buy some more things. So we can have some health, we can have some extra damage on our first hits, we have some move speed. We also get to sell one of our boons if we want to. Well, actually, up to 3 of our boons. We can sell all 3 if we want. We're not going to. If I was going to, I would sell that one, but I'm not excited about selling any of them. I think I might buy. It's 9 health.
I don't
I
think
don't think we buy 9 health.
Long way from home.
just hope for an early shot, I think.
That would be pretty good, yeah. So,
Now we're getting somewhere.
here we are in Asphodel.
It's nice and warm out here, I'll give it that.
Here's a little look at Asphodel.
It does look warm, looks toasty.
It does. The equivalent of the traps that I keep setting in the first area is this lava, which we're not going to stay in very long because it does deal damage over time.
The once verdant plains of Asphodel are now engulfed in scintillating flame, having been flooded by the river Phlegethon, whose hideously superheated contents could bring death swiftly even to those resistant to most heat.
I'm only flame resistant, not flame proof.
Yeah, so our feet are constantly on fire. I don't know if you can see that.
I have noticed while you've been standing still, yeah.
Yeah, not enough for lava to not hurt us. They're on fire, but not enough on fire.
Inferno
Well, he
bombers.
did mention that in his little story there. So notably, the monsters on the floor will have more health, right?
They will. However, rewards will also start to increase as well. So we're getting darkness for this. On the first floor, when we got darkness, we got like 10 of it. I'm
Yeah, it was
hoping
10, yeah.
I've got 20 or more here. We'll see. Oh, these go. I'm wrong. Cool.
Okay. You famously like being wrong.
Yeah, big fan. Okay, so we can either get a pom, which would be really good, or we can go and meet a new god. And one of my favourite gods.
I mean, because I said it for Ares, I'm going to say it again. Normally I would say the POM, but in the interest of showcasing what this god can do,
All
let's go
aboard.
here.
Okay.
I mean, if you do disagree with me at any point, feel free to.
Oh no, I wanted to go see this guy anyway. So. I do feel a POM would be really useful while around. I think I would probably upgrade the Doom rather than. Feels like that's more of our damage than maybe Lightning is now.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of your damage is coming from charged attack.
Yeah, triple damage turns out pretty good. So this is
almost like a batwing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hey boss, found you. Good. Hermes, at your service. Pleasure. You are the talk of Olympus. Normally I wouldn't get mixed up, but for you, I'll be making an exception. Now come on, we've both got places to be.
So Hermes, generally speaking, based on speed. So we can either after we dash, move 100% faster, which is quite good. Dodging, also one of his themes. Dodging automatically is just 10% chance to not take damage. Sounds great. Or the fact that enemies will drop our cast.
It says in 5 seconds, which you said was the base amount.
No, 5 seconds was how long Festive Fog lasted before it dropped.
Was it? Right, okay, maybe I misunderstood.
So we're going to take, I think, the dodge here, because it's just 10% chance not to take damage, and that's always going to be handy.
Lift, Lord Hermes, sir. Now let's go.
Well, 10% of the time is going to be handy.
Yeah, 3 options here. Nectar's not bad, however, we've got 350 money in the shop, so probably doing that. There was a key as well, which would let us get closer to unlocking our next weapon. In fact, it might even let us unlock our next weapon. How much? Yeah, I think we've had enough. However, with the ability to buy 2 items from the shop, this could be pretty good.
You know, one thing I'll say for Charon there, he doesn't talk too much. And since neither do you, I'm letting you have this.
Zagreus never shuts up. What are you talking about?
Not while he's around, and he's shy.
Yeah, I guess. So Dash Strike deals more damage. We do use Dash Strike with this one. Any damage has a chance to deal. Any damage we deal has a chance to be critical. Always going to be good. Exit wounds. We don't really have a way of dislodging things other than it just comes out after an amount of time. But that's not a lot of DPS. It takes a long time for it to come out.
Yeah.
There are situations where we would take this. This isn't one of them. So I think we're going to be on pressure points here. Pressure points seems fine. 2%
so it's
chance.
Like theoretically a 4% damage increase, right?
Criticals are plus 200% damage, so they're 3 times damage.
Yeah. So if it was 2 times damage, 2% would be
4% increased damage, right?
No.
Oh no, just yeah, you're right. You're right. You are exactly correct.
On the prowl. Should help keep me going.
And we get the extra health. Yeah, because it's double the
and
amount. Because
ashes
it's
of the
double the
river
extra.
Phlegathon mean nothing to the ferryman Charon, who travels all the waters of the underworld bearing the dead, the damned, and all their fineries.
I do enjoy dead people's fineries.
Absolutely. Oh, it's
get a POM anywhere.
Your lucky day. Yeah, we could have got 2 POMs.
Yeah, true. But we did get 10% chance to not take damage, so that's okay.
That was an odd noise, Chris.
Yeah. Their shadows are a lot larger than they are when they hit the ground.
Yes, because of perspective. Oh, it's a fire. We don't stand in that. I mean, well, yeah, we do, but we try not to stand in that. There's a guy over there. The observer makes you will notice I stood in lava a little bit there, but
yeah, I was
fine.
going to bring it up.
Okay, so this is more of these both increase the same thing. But this is more of an increase, right? That is plus 60%, and that's plus 20%.
Stronger still.
So the more upgrades you get, I presume, the less.
There are diminishing returns, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So if we get, like, so that's going to level 2. Once it gets to level 3, it won't go up by 30, it'll go up by maybe 26, something like that. So we'll reach the point where we've got, say, level 6 of this, that we would rather put points in that. It might come faster than that, I don't know. Okay, so Athena or Artemis? Now, I think, as much as I like Artemis, I think I want to see Athena here. Because
what are you looking for?
Pardon?
What are you looking for specifically if you'd give up Artemis for that?
So the duo bonus between Athena and Ares is that any ability you have that either deflects or exposes, but at this point we do both, so not a problem. Also instantly triggers your doom.
Right, okay, that's really good.
Yeah, so since we've taken... This is... Okay, that's fine. Since we've taken a bunch of extra doom things, that could be really good for us. However, the only thing we have that deflects or exposes is our cast, which is an unreliable trigger. So I will also happily take the dash.
After this long.
Yeah, if it's here. Hey, look, there it is. That does give an extra life, though. Replenish one use can go over your maximum, I think.
Okay.
But we haven't died yet.
Yeah, this is the run, man. This is the run.
We've got 150 health, so we're going with the plan.
I feel like you were just trying to make us all feel you were terrible in the last video. And now you just,
it's just sandbagging. Yeah, I don't want people to stick around if they really wanted to watch, not like.
I think you're progressing quite well, considering you're starting on 5 heat, right?
Yes.
You're starting with 5 separate handicaps.
Yeah. So normally you finish the game with none of the extra handicaps, and then ooh, that's a difficult decision.
So you can buy a boon, or you can get some health.
Yeah.
I think health's not an issue right now. You've got 2 deflects, you've got 10% dodge, you've got 2 dashes. You're doing okay.
It's gonna become an issue, but because we've got the 3rd boss to beat after this 2nd boss, and I'm not good at fighting that.
At some point you're going to need... You need more damage. The more damage you have, the better, right?
That's true. Well, we turned down Artemis before. Here she is now.
You hunted down a real bargain there in Charon's shop. Though, how about we try a slightly bigger deal on for size right now?
She's just making hunting puns. We don't... okay. So, if we hit with every hit of our special, do we fire 7 seeking arrows?
After you cast or hit with an attack or spell. It sounds like it. It sounds like that's 70 extra damage, which is a lot.
The other thing is we don't crit very often, so these are not as valuable as they would normally be. That's fine, because that makes us crit after we've... If we crit anything with anything, then after that we can then crit with any ability.
Yeah.
So that's alright.
But we've only got 2% crit chance, whereas I think for science it's better to see if we get 70 damage out of the special.
Okay.
And if not, we're getting 10 extra damage on everything.
Having traversed the flaming river Phlegathon to gain this vantage point, relentless Zagreus must now confront a foe of unimaginable savagery who lies ahead, awaiting patiently its time to strike.
It's time to strike.
Spoil the surprise, old man.
Not his or her time to strike. So I was saying before we moved to this shop, before we came to the decision, in the last episode I was using the sword, and I'm a lot better with the bow. And every other weapon that isn't the sword. Maybe the exception of the spear. I can't tell if that...
I don't think it did.
It fired more than one, definitely.
Okay.
But I don't think it fired... It fired 2. I think it might be 1 from the special, 1 from the lightning. Yeah.
Well, his other heads.
Yeah, it's Hydra. It's just a thing. So on this boss...
Yeah, guy for 384, that seems like a lot.
I must have created the thing. Where did I cast? Oh, I've got it. That make Gas back, please.
How many of these are there? No effect.
So in order to maximize DPS, I should multi-dot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you do in like an MMR.
Yeah, so I should go and put do one everything. While it's triggering one thing, and moving on to something else. Helps me stand next to each other. It's really not fun.
Yeah, those guys are really enjoying that AoE all the time. Although I know it's strictly normal attack.
Yeah, it'd be regular attack.
Fire them.
So that was the no invulnerability period between damage in play, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of. I mean, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah. The plan was to fire the deflecty bolt at him, which would have bounced all of them back at him, but I do get a mini stun every time I get hit, which when I kept trying to press the button, nothing happened. We don't get.
So what does the diamond do?
So the diamond is a very big gem. So the guy who wants gems from us also will occasionally want diamonds from us.
Right.
In return for big special projects.
The diamond is a very big gem.
I mean, wasn't wrong. This time, we don't have money. What do you want to buy? Nothing I want to sell. I don't hate getting rid of that, I suppose, but...
But then what special are you going to replace that with?
Whatever special I find. But it means I can buy health.
I don't think it's worth it, man.
Really? Like,
but yeah, we're on 66, but you're the boss.
We're doing it, man.
The trade.
I'm just a passenger.
Just along for the ride.
This one.
I think enough of our damage now comes from our regular attack. This is going to be okay.
Okay.
If we go to... Elysium.
The Fields of Elysium.
I think here is where we stand for the dramatic view.
For all his faults, Father did make this place look good.
Agree, disagrees, agrees, that's okay.
The rare heavenly splendors of Elysium, reserved for only the most great of mortal souls, spread forth luxuriantly all about the fire-stepping prince.
Luxuriantly? Really?
I was thinking that, genuinely thinking, what is that a thing?
I mean it is, but look, there's that health, that money we would have liked earlier. We're gonna go see Hermes. Hermes is hopefully gonna. The thing we want from Hermes is he can make your attack faster, which is gonna offset the fact that it's so slow.
Right swords.
So here's a question: if the guys are close enough for your AoE slow attack, and they all get hit by it, did they trigger the Artemis extra arrows?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know. We might get to find out, but it doesn't look like it, because I think they both got hit.
Yeah.
So the enemies on this floor, a lot of them are these little skeletal guys. That's really good with only one cast. So little skeletal guys, when they die, they turn to a spirit, and that spirit tries to find a weapon. They also drop their weapon when they die, and if the spirit finds a weapon, it will come back to life as another little skeletal guy. So you have to kill the spirit that comes out of them before they do that. So we can either take... We're not taking flurry cast, it's useless to us because we only have one cast. We can either take hyper sprint or greatest reflex. Greatest reflex is an extra dash, which gives us 3 dashes in a row.
3 deflects.
Yes, that's the other thing. Yeah, because they're deflects. Hyper sprint does let us move around really quickly, which is fine. But an extra dash also lets us move around quickly. So I think that's what we're going to go with. It's a slightly more defensive option, although that does give us less damage taken after a dash.
Yeah. I like the extra dash. Cost of deflect and me trusting you to deflect.
That's good speed, alright.
Yeah, I like the extra dash. You can get better versions of that, which are, say, rare or epic or heroic. I think the heroic one is 5 extra dashes, which is more than anyone needs. Considering we start with 2.
So do they recharge independently, or is it after you stop doing it they'll start to recharge?
It's after you've stopped doing it, you get all of them back immediately.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, that one came back. Stop paying attention. So dash dancing.
So with Dionysus, he had a thing where you could apply his damage over time effect with your dash.
Yes.
With the infinite dashes thing that we've just talked about.
7, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you get them back as soon as you stop doing it.
Yeah, because you would just do this around an enemy.
Yeah.
There's an Ares one that makes him. We're going here because we're going to the shop. There's an Ares one that makes him leave a blade rip or a blade vortex when you dash. And I have played a build where that was my damage.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that. It absolutely shreds, right?
It does, yeah, the blade vortexes do a lot of damage. And there's a bunch of upgrades from Ares to make it better. This guy. Guys with the shields are my least favourite of these. Followed by, I think, the spears.
You might get a lot of backstab shots, so I don't think that they're that annoying for you.
Well, you can only backstab them, so it's your only option. This, I think, is a better multiplier than this, just because that's not always going to come off, and this is.
Okay.
Oh, another hammer or an Ares. That's an actual decision. We are just going to buy that though.
Let's do the hammer.
I'm going to buy that as well. You want to do the hammer?
Yeah, we'll do the hammer.
Okay.
We never turn down.
You're right. We never turned down a hammer.
Apart from that one time that you did.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, I thought you might not.
Was it this run? Was it? Yeah, you're right.
I think it might have been when it was still in early access.
Okay. Oh, so these guys make nearby allies invincible, which is really fun. They can't do it to each other, thankfully, because otherwise, you know, you'd be effed.
I really like these attack effects of the extra armors arrows. This is, I don't know, easy. It's subtle, but yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, it's subtle while there's only one coming out, right? If there was 7 coming out, maybe not.
Yeah, there's builds that'll do that. I think if you go into one of the gods we haven't seen yet has a cast that's a laser.
Okay.
I think it's probably that.
I think you're right, because that will stack with the charged thing, right?
It'll stack with more Doom and the fact that every one of them's going to
charge. Yeah, that looks satisfying.
These are the two that I want a duo buff out of, so the chance of me getting that is now pretty high. Because we're going to have 2 chances in this room.
You just healed for 12 health when you went through that door.
I did, so when we went to the last well of Charon, I bought one of these.
Okay, that's handy.
Yeah, thought I was going to need it. Again, we're taking Athena first because I don't want to have to deal with her effect in this room, which is she's going to be invincible, so we're just not going to deal with it. Special stronger can deflect. Oh, we could take that, yeah. When you deflect attacks, it deals more damage. The deflect attack deals more damage. That's fine. It's a lot more damage. Yeah. Or this is an extra. This is an extra life.
Okay. I like the damage, but if you feel like the extra life could be, useful, that's. I mean, of course it's useful, but.
Well, the question is whether or not it adds an extra life or it just replenishes one I already got. I think it adds one, but it doesn't appear to at the bottom left there.
Okay.
So in that case, it's not going to be as good. It's just when we come back to life, we're also invincible 2 seconds, which is fine. We come back to life once, so.
When you can hit more than one guy with that, that's handy. It's a lot of damage.
It's a big damn.
Did you say you had to? I think I saw.
44, yeah. Should be always similar damage. The enemies don't have defense for this game, as far as I know.
Oh yeah, it's been scaled somewhere.
Oh yeah.
The slight against me is already forgotten. for I was more than pleased to witness.
Monstrous show of force. Okay. I don't know that we want that, so I think we're just going to take Urge to Kill.
Okay.
I think Special Inflicting Doom isn't, because it's, I don't think it'll overwrite the one we've already got, but I don't think the one we've got will overwrite it, which means that if we do reach the point, we're going to take the key here, just because we have kind of a lot of darkness, and this might unlock the next weapon for us. Or get us closer to the next tier of talents.
What was the next weapon? Was it the shield?
I think it is, yeah. I think it's shield
I
and
think
then the
the
spear.
spear was 4, yeah.
Yeah. Nice, they're dead.
Satisfying. Pop.
So, what was I saying? Yeah. I like closing the gap, and I like not closing the gap. We have a little difference of opinion on that. I forgot what I was just saying. Oh, 2 keys.
I can use this to unlock a weapon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use that to unlock. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
You're saying pop.
I am saying pop.
I think I was talking about the Doom. Yeah, so if what we've got doesn't overwrite the new Doom isn't as strong. So that would be bad. These are little suicide bomb ring guys, which luckily we're using ranged weapons, so that's not going to be as bad as it could be. We're going to start trying to avoid them. We've also taken a lot of AoE over the course of our many daedalus hammers, to be honest. Okay.
Well, everything kind of synergizes to give you more area damage, right? So hitting more things with your attack, for example, applying more to more things. While it is single target damage to those things, it came from the AoE.
Speaking of Doom, I think that's what we're taking. More Doom damage.
Palmed out.
Artemis or a Pom. Also an Infernal Trove for money.
I don't know that the money one is worth it. I mean, it probably is, but given how quickly the last one ticked down,
it's true. Let's find out though. We're doing it in case.
But I can see that. Yeah.
See, that's more like it.
Useless.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
There was just loads of guys in the last one.
It was worth it. And I think we take the bomb.
I'm happy to take the bomb.
Armor's giving you 1% extra crits.
Split this.
Well, ideally she could get both. She could also, because we're now missing a special, right? She could replace that one. That's only really good if we then get the thing that lets us mark targets to take more. Let's say increasing the strike chance if someone's been crit or something. We can do 2 optimists. Because that would mean we can then crit with this attack, which is plus 1 damage. It's the most damage of ours that is in a attack that is a crit. I don't think Doom can crit.
I'm not sure. I would be surprised if it could. But, I mean, you have so little crit chance that it's probably something you're not going to see very often anyway.
Yeah, we're always stacking Doom at the moment.
Let's
Got a chance to sell it. We could sell the crit chance. I don't think we need to though. Ideally we get a shot pit, that'd be nice. Hey!
Got a decent chunk of change too.
I have, and very little health, so... I was always buying that. I'm buying everything obviously, but... we're going to buy the Pom first, because then it can't pick whatever this is going to be. We want it to pick the Doom stuff.
Don't spend it all in one.
It didn't pick the Doom stuff.
Well, I think it heard you, man.
Yeah, so I guess we take this. This is the one that's extra damage. The damage off this is irrelevant. The damage off this is fine, but not going to help us in the upcoming boss fight. This will.
Okay.
And then...
Even there in your underworld, it seems quality hunting gear doesn't come cheap, apparently.
I guess it's this one that I was mentioning before.
You were just talking about that.
Because that does something for us now. This will do something for us with this later, but this is...
This the most, and it's the better quality one.
True. Okay, so we have an option to get some. Well, an option. We have the ability to get some ambrosia here. But first, we have to beat my favourite boss in the game.
Oh wow.
The boys.
Hold, fiend! You'll walk not one more step toward the light of day, so long as I am here.
2 against 1. Seems hardly fair. Ah, well. Let's kill him and be done, King.
Theseus, the Bull of Minos, you two are legends. I'd be honored if we had a sporting contest here.
A naked attempt to sway me from my convictions. Defend yourself, you blackguard, and may the gods show you some mercy, for I shall not.
So the first time I heard that line, do you know that's how blackguard was pronounced? I'd have said blackguard.
I would have said blackguard.
Because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah. So this is your least favourite boss because there's 2 of them, right?
Partly, but even when I get down to just being one, I struggle. My least favourite boss is that, like, for the benefit of everyone watching, I died to this boss before I died to any other boss.
Yeah, that is true.
Including the last boss. I'm better at the last boss than the last boss. We have got a little crit chain going here. Every time we crit one of them, the other one gets marked. So that's nice.
So that, I guess that was more damage than I gave it credit. Because it actually seems really good. No, I've seen it in action.
Yeah, because it increases the crit chance, and that doesn't preclude you from activating it again. However, I now don't have... Oh, also, I've seen Doom 3 in this fight, so that's nice.
Yeah, because I think it would be really strange for it to...
It does say all damage without crit, so... Oh yeah, so... yeah, Theseus also gets help from the gods. He's actually just had help from the god that we've not met yet.
Now we know that it exists. But we'll wait till we meet him to discuss his many charms. I feel like that replenishes a use of Death Defied was waste.
Yeah, alright.
I mean, find out.
That's really upsetting.
It was a good attempt at the run.
Yeah, but like it was just Theseus left, and he was on so little health, and I got hit by the attack he's been doing the entire fight that I have a deflection for.
I'm sorry for trying to make you feel better about it.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. This wasn't the run, but maybe next time.
I believe.
Yeah.
I have every faith in you.
So this is actually going to be a longer episode than last time. There was one run in it. So this is going to be the end of this episode. I did say the runs are going to get faster. What I meant is we're going to make more progress faster. Not necessarily the runs are going to be shorter.
But they will get faster too.
That's true.
As you unlock more things.
As we unlock more things and become more powerful, yeah, in general on my main playthrough, I win more than I lose, which you haven't seen yet, but you will. And you what, sorry?
I remain skeptical.
Okay. And also, yeah, we make a lot more progress. I actually typically play with the timed mode. One of the Pact of Punishment conditions is that you get 9 minutes per floor. And I typically play with that because I don't go over 9 minutes, so might as well. It's basically free. It also stacks, so you get 9 minutes on the first floor, and if you beat it in 7 minutes, you then have 11 minutes for the second floor, and if you beat that in...
Oh, that's actually handy.
Yeah, it's generous. I would have thought it would just be you get 9 minutes, you get 9 minutes, you get 9 minutes, but no.
Especially since it doesn't mention it, right? It's
No,
like
it doesn't.
9 minutes per floor, and that's not what it does.
No, yeah, you gain an extra 9 minutes every floor. But by floor I mean, because floors in this game actually just mean each level. I mean for Tartarus, and then for Asphodel, and then for Elysium, and then for the last stage. But yeah. So yeah, this has been this is the run, and I have been Puppet.
Yep, I've been Cuddly.
If you do want to catch more of us, then Cuddly does have a stream over on Twitch. He is Mr. Cuddly Pants. His full Christian name is what we call him on Sunday. And it's currently streaming Jedi Fallen Order on Grandmaster difficulty.
Yep, it's going swimmingly.
Yeah, Yeah,
Did you want
there was a great toad.
Oh yeah, the toad was fun. So, can you remember when I played through Bloodborne Sekiro?
Yes.
It took me a while to get a grasp on the combat. I feel like
do.
this is going to be the same, right?
Yeah, that toad was just your cleric beast.
Yeah, the cleric beast was the most frustrating thing.
You're gonna come back after you finish the game and you're gonna stomp that toad into the ground.
Just to show that I can.
Yeah, that's what you did with the cleric beast.
I handicapped myself there as well, didn't
You
I?
did. You fought on. I can't remember what you did. Oh, you summoned Father Gascoigne, but then didn't let him into the fight, which meant it had an extra 50% health.
Yeah. Yeah. I just decimated him, right?
Well, you did. Oh, he's the first boss. Of course you did.
Yeah, but the first time I got there, I didn't.
That is true. Anyway. So yeah, we have a good time. I'm usually in the chat there, so if you want to speak to either of us, then we're both around usually. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time. If you did enjoy this video, then feel free to give it a like and or subscribe to the channel if you want to see anything else from us. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more than just those 2 episodes when we do upload this. We're planning to upload a few things at once, so there should be a few more things on the channel.
Yeah, I think we'll get a we'll get a good I say a good view. Let's say at least one more video, so at least 3 videos out at first.
I mean, to be fair, it's 2 episodes. It's 2 hours.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, bye.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys, and well, take care. See you next time.